So my name is Clark Harris. I'm the Dean of Academics here at UEWM. I am a graduate of UEWM, both from the master's program and the doctorate program. So I can answer any questions you have regarding the program, both from a student's perspective, and now I've been the Dean of the program for over a year. Thank you. So the University of East-West Medicine was established in 1997, and we've been offering classes in traditional Chinese medicine ever since. To be a member of the Bureau of Private Post-Secondary Education, we also need to be approved by ACOM, or the Accreditation Commission of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. We are approved by the Acupuncture Board of California, and NCCAOM, it does the national certification. We're authorized to teach CEUs through them, and when you graduate from our school, you're also able to take the national certification exam. We also accept I-20 international students. So if you are international and you want to get your visa, you can talk to Sharon about that. She's very experienced with dealing with the international community. So this slide here shows, this is actually directly from the California Acupuncture Board's website, showing all the schools that were represented in the acupuncture licensing exam for California during the time period of October 2018 until June of 2019. This is their most recent chart that they have. They update it annually, so most likely we'll see a new one this summer. So this is not just schools in California. Any student that comes from any school in the United States and applies for a California acupuncture license takes a test through this exam and is represented here. So you can see schools that are from outside of the state, as well as all of the California schools. And you can see here, if you look down towards the bottom, you can see that the University of East-West Medicine had 64 students take it for the very first time in that time period, and we had a 94% pass rate, which is very high, especially for the number of students. You can see other schools that had 100% pass rate, for instance, like Stanton University. They only had one student, so it's not as easy to compare those numbers. If you look at other schools that had 50, 60, 70 students taking the exam, you look at like South Baylo University, they had an 86% pass rate. And then if you look at Emperor's College, they only had half as many students as us and a slightly better percentage rate. So you can see that we're comparable with many of the outstanding schools in California as well as the United States, and shows you which states have their own exam. The only state that has their own exam is California. You see the red states have no rules whatsoever in those states. There's no legislation in those areas. And then you can see that the ones in blue are all the states that either require the national exam for licensure or require certification. When you take the exam, you don't automatically get certified. In order to stay certified, you have to renew your certification every 4 years, similar to the license. You have to pass a licensing exam. The states in the blue all use the national licensing exam or certification exam to apply for a license. Just like in California, we use the CALE, or the California Licensing Exam, California Acupuncture License Exam. And that will allow you to apply for a California license, but it does not guarantee you a California license. You still have to pass a criminal background check. So those of you that license acupuncturists in the United States as of 2018. And so there may be slightly more than that by now, or some people retire, so I don't have any more current information on that. But at that time, you could expect, on average, throughout the United States, around $74,000 to $75,000 per year. Now, you will not make that your first year out. Most likely, it'll be slightly less than that. And if you were able to get into a prestigious job like working at Kaiser, you could even make up to $135,000 as a full-time acupuncturist. Now, the average per hour rate is around 34 dollars, way more than any of these numbers. You can make $500,000 or more per year if you're really good at running a business. Now, acupuncture is becoming much more mainstream. You're seeing universities like Stanford and UCLA and Yale and UCSF. They're all starting to use acupuncture, especially in their training hospitals. And in California, like I was saying, we're considered primary care physicians or general practitioners. So what this means is that when we treat people, they do not have to go through a Western doctor or an MD in order to be recommended for acupuncture. They can come directly to our office and we can treat them without needing any previous doctor's appointments from outside of acupuncture. It also means that we can we can do insurance billing straight from our office. We can also even send them to get certain lab exams like urine and feces and blood exams. So acupuncture is becoming much more popular in the United States. 4 in 10 adults are starting to use alternative therapies. Acupuncture is considered one of the alternative therapies. And even recently it's become, for low back pain, the Medicare is starting to take. So at UEWM, we do offer a Master of Science in Traditional Chinese Medicine. We offer it in both Chinese and English. We offer non-degree opportunities for students that want to take classes, and you can learn it through either auditing or through a non-degree status, or you could do, once you graduate, you could do some continuing education units. If you're interested in the non-degree program, especially if you're having issues with passing the TOEFL or getting your English score high enough, then you can talk to Sharon about that. That is an option for people whose English is not as strong. Now, for those of you that have been to school in the United States or another English-speaking country, all you need is 2 years of college. And even if you've been to school outside the United States, you need your 2 years of college. It's either 60 semester units or 90 quarter units with a GPA of a 2.0. That enables you to start the program. And then after 3 years, it takes a minimum of 3 years, and a maximum allowed time period for the program is 8 years. Once you finish the program, you're able to get your license, and then that entitles you to practice. You can work in a hospital, and you can even teach. And another year to 2 years will get you into a doctorate degree. So for those of you that are not aware, part of what Chinese medicine is, most everybody is familiar with the acupuncture part, but it also includes Chinese herbal medicine, Tui Na massage, cupping, gua sha, qigong, and tai chi, and there is a Western medical aspect to the training. So this page here shows you a good overview of what to expect in the course. Because we're on a schedule that allows for flexibility, and not every semester is exactly the same. So depending on when you start will change which classes are available to you. So this is just an idea of what your schedule will look like, but it's not exactly what it will look like. So for instance, you might take 11 units your first semester, or you could take more. 12 units is considered full-time. So anything above 12 units is full-time. And if you look here, you'll also see some +1s or +6s. That's talking about the clinic hours. So there's a total of, if you look down at the bottom, you can see there's all this here is the Western medical science classes that are required. And you can take those either before you start the program or while you're at the program. So if you already have those classes, then you will not need to take them again. You can just transfer them into the program. And then if you do not have them yet, you can either take them at our school, or you could take them at a community college or a local college near you, wherever you live, in order to prepare for the program. The more you have your basic sciences covered, the faster you'll be able to get through the actual MSTCM program. So there is 123 units within the program, and then there's 960 hours of clinical as well, for a total of 3,090 hours for the whole program. Now this next page here is actually my favorite page. It shows you more about how the program will progress and what to expect while you're in the program. So let me just clarify some things for you here. If you see here at the top, there's a plus sign and an arrow. And then if you come over here, there's an arrow that goes both ways. And then there's this arrow that combines two rows. So these are all showing you what is required in order to take each class. Anything on the far left side of the page, you can take your very first semester. Now, for instance, if we start off in the acupuncture, you can see that you need this class to take the second one. If you see a plus sign, though, that means you can take them together. And when you get here to acupuncture 3 and 4, and you see the arrow goes either way, that means you can actually take 4 before you take 3. So if that semester, when you get to this part of your education, if you don't see acupuncture 3 being offered, but you see acupuncture 4 being offered, you can go ahead and take it. And if you're bilingual, if you speak Chinese and English very well, then you can probably even find an opportunity to take them together, and that could help you get through the program a little bit faster. So yeah, so the arrows tell you which one to take in a row, and then when you see the bidirectional arrow, it means you can take either one first. So you can take acupuncture 6 before acupuncture 5 because you have the bidirectional arrow. Now you have to finish all of Acu 1 through 4 and then foundations and diagnosis before you can get into Acu 5. And then you need to finish all of your foundations and diagnosis along with your herbs and formulas before you can get into this box here, which is your final year of your education. These are all your senior level classes. This line here is all your Western medicine. So you just follow the arrows. The only thing on this page that is twice is human anatomy and human physiology are represented here and down here. So what I like to do when I went through the program was when I finished a class, I would just cross it off. Just cross it off. And so if once you take a human anatomy and physiology, you can actually cross it off in both places. All of these basic sciences, like I said, you can either take them before you start the program or during the program. Now, clinic is the most complicated section of it all. If we look at Clinic 1, you need Clinic 1 before you get to Clinic 2, and there is an entrance exam to get into Clinic 2. So basically, it's pretty much the final exam of Clinic 1 will enable you to get into Clinic 2. And now you see here, you have clinic, or all the basic sciences are required before you get into Clinic 3, as well as clean needle technique, or CNT. CNT is offered in an outside institution, although we do host the class here in Chinese, but there are other schools that offer it in English throughout the Bay Area.
I do.
And so you have community service. You can start applying for community service if you want after CL3, but it's not required until you graduate, so it can be taken at any time. It's a total of 15 hours. Comprehensive 1 exam. Now the Comprehensive 1 exam must be taken in order to graduate from CL4 to CL5. There's 2 comprehensive exams throughout the entire program. One is the Comprehensive 1, and then the other one would be over here on the side. It's actually the Comprehensive 2 or the graduation exam. All of these classes here at the bottom can be taken anytime throughout the course. They have no prerequisites, so you can take them your first semester or your last semester. It does not matter. Now at UEWM, we do have some excellent student services. We've got a wonderful campus. You can't see it today personally, but if you do get a chance, you can stop by and we'll give you a tour. We also have a very good library. So when you graduate from UEWM, you become one of our alumni. And many of our alumni have developed successful practices in the Bay Area and have clinics where they will even look to hire new graduates. And so one of the things that I recommend you do while you're in the program is that you make friends with your fellow students, especially the ones that are more advanced than you, because they can not only teach you a little bit of what they've been learning and show you a little bit more of, practice more in the clinic with them, but they'll also, when you graduate, they may want to give you a job at their clinic because they're slightly ahead of you, or maybe somebody that's graduated 5 or 10 years ago has a very successful clinic and will put up signs here on campus looking for new graduates to start working in their clinic. So be very, make friends while you're here, and also look for opportunities to network with our alumni once you graduate. Maybe someday you'll have a clinic and you can do the similar and hire our recent graduates as well. So some of the student benefits that you get from going to UEWM: you get discounted treatments. So I recommend, we give you 1 free treatment so you can experience it. So if you want to come by the clinic starting next semester, once the clinic is open again, you can come by and get a free treatment. And now, if you have not experienced acupuncture and herbs before, that'll give you an opportunity to see what it's like and see if that may even interest you more in the medicine. Also, while you're in the program, I recommend you get treated as much as you need, because one of the things that I've seen and that experienced myself was that as you go through the program, your health gets better. Like for me, I was very tired when I started the program. I worked very hard to get here, and I was exhausted, and I just really couldn't even hardly keep my eyes awake to study. So I went and got treatment in the clinic, and now I'm able to read whole books from cover to cover and remember stuff. And it was very, very helpful for me, not only to help me with my studies, but also to understand the medicine from the inside out. Be able to have confidence to say what it can do and what it can't do when I talk to my patients. This is very useful for people to understand the medicine, to actually get treated and use the medicine. So we have, if you're interested in externships to China, we can help you set up those with partnered universities. We also have free Wi-Fi on campus and free parking. Now, these are some pictures of different rooms in the school. This top left one is in our Great Hall, where we have graduation ceremony or guest speakers and seminars. We do Tai Chi Qigong in this room and many other Chinese New Year celebrations, all kinds of fun stuff. And this is one of our treatment rooms. And the bottom left is our herbal room, where we have well over 300 individual herbs for custom formulas. And this is a picture of a group after competing in the Tai Chi competitions at, I believe that was Berkeley. We are the Chung Heritage site for acupuncture, and so this is his grandson here. And so this was the ceremony in order to inaugurate the school to be the heritage site for Chung acupuncture. Wang Lijeng, he's been teaching for well over 30 years. Wan Laoshi, he's been teaching for at least 40 years. Zhang Li, she's been teaching here for 15, 20 years. Dai Laoshi is the same. Dai Laoshi teaches in both the English and the Chinese program. The rest of these are for the Chinese program. This next slide, these are all some of our faculty, including myself here, that are teaching in the English program. This is Dr. Winters, who teaches Western medicine. This is Grace, who teaches in patient care and psychology. This is Oscar Hernandez. He teaches in our tween-off classes at present. So this page helps to understand the price of all the different schools in the Bay Area. As you can see, the UEWM is the least expensive in the Bay Area. And we also have, well, we're not the highest pass rate because, Oakland does have a 100% pass rate for this, but they only had 6 students take it, whereas we had 60 students take it and still had a 94% pass rate. So you can see we have a very good pass rate, and we are the least expensive of all the schools in the Bay Area. So just to talk about the requirements of what you need to apply. Once again, you do need 2 years of college before you can start the program. And it doesn't matter what those classes are in. They can be art, they can be language, they can be music, they can be science. It doesn't matter. As long as you have 2 years of college before you start, you're able to come directly into the master's program. And those 2 years do need to be either 60 semester units or 90 quarter units with a minimum GPA of a 2.0. And if you're from a foreign university, you would need to get your transcripts translated and evaluated. This slide here, we have all the information that you need in order to apply. So most of our forms are online now in order for that to apply. So we have an online application. We have, there is a fee in order to apply. So $60 for residents, and for international students, it would be $100. You would need your proof of citizenship or residency. Need your transcripts, official transcripts from either a US or foreign school. If it's a foreign school, they will need to be evaluated if they're not in English. And probably just for the credits as well, they'll still need to be evaluated. Passport size photos, we need 2 of those. Current resume, 2 letters of recommendation, so you can fill that out online. 2 letters of recommendation are from anybody that knows you. They do not need to be in the medical field, but they do need to be able to know you well enough to say, I know this person, I think they'll make a good student and make your school very proud of them. As far as the 500-word statement of purpose, that comes from you. Why do you want to study Chinese medicine? And what do you want to, how do you want to use it in the future? That would be your 500-word statement of purpose. Then we have, if English is not your native language and you did not study 2 years in the United States or another English-speaking country, then you would need to either take the TOEFL or talk to Sharon about some of the non-degree opportunities that will help prepare you for the master's program if need be. Bank statement and financial, this is for international students only. And then the red ones down here are for international students as well. Right, so your transcripts will need to be translated in English, and if you want financial aid, you do need to be either a resident or a citizen. Continuing classes, and these are this is not part of the master's program. This is for students that want more practice with Tai Chi Qigong. And this is for also this is open to the public. So even our patients in the clinic, if we recommend that they get certain exercises, they can come to this class and we can help teach them, like for back pain or knee pain or insomnia, whatever it is, they can take these classes. It's 1 class per week for 15 weeks for only $220. It's a very good price. Now, since you're not here on campus today, these are some pictures of our campus. We do have a standalone building, and so parking is all for our students and for our faculty and staff. We do have free parking. We do have large classrooms. Many of our classrooms can hold 40 students or more if necessary. The Great Hall, where we do graduation ceremony, can hold 60 to 100 people probably. Like I said, this is one of my favorite rooms. It's where we do all of our parties and big celebrations and all of our guest speakers. So the back of the building is the entrance to the clinic. And this is another picture of the herbal room. This is bottom left or right is a picture of the lobby where the patients wait for their treatments. And the bottom left is the corridor where all of our treatments are. We have over 9 treatment rooms.